Hi there, Jewell Starsinger here. And I just want to remind you to check out my Kickstarter, which is going on to the end of January. I've got a couple more weeks to go. And I've got several things on the site. The most exciting part is my book, which you can see this is my proof copy. The Tao of Astrology is ready to roll. And really, what it is just a basic outline of all of my interests, like the Kabbalist interests that I do, but all of it based in the Taoist principles of yin and yang. And so check it out because it's fun and it helps you. You know what? I have been searching all of my life to try and understand what the hell I'm doing here. That's all I ever care about. What happened? Why did I exist? I'd like to know. So, if you have those questions, you can ride along with me and we can talk about what the heck are we doing here? I think it's magic. I don't know what you think, but I think there's a lot more to our stories than we realize. You know what else I think? I think changing the words you use to describe your story can be really helpful in getting things massaged and feeling better. Because honestly, I have felt like a victim all of my life. But when I got astrology, I found out I have tons of Neptune in my chart. And Neptune is all about being like open and subservient and surrendering. But it's also, guess what? It's about confusion. But it's also about like ADD or ADHD, the feminine kind, the kind that disassociates from their body. I've done that all my life. I just leave it. It's really hard for me to even touch the earth. And yet, what's my favorite thing to do? Eat food. I love to eat food. So, see how we're all this little mixed up, uh, I call it a smoothie. We're in a smoothie. I'm in the smoothie, and the smoothie is in me. How about you? Do you feel like you're just a mixture of characters? And sometimes that makes you nuts because in our modern world, it tells us we're only one thing. There's only one God. He's a dude. He's over there. He's not here. So, what do we do with all this separation? I suppose separation. Yeah. All right. So, I'm doing this live because honestly, I cannot figure out all of my equipment. I'm an old lady and I'm trying so hard to get my message out into the world. I really want to talk to young people. I want to tell you that your confusion and your desperation or whatever you're feeling is part of a series of events that have been brought down from my generation to your generation. Now, it's not my fault. You don't blame me because I'm a stupid boomer. And I am. But guess what? I was raised by people that had lots of weird stuff happening to them. And they were raised by lots of weird stuff that came before them, you see. And so, what we have to do is sort of gather our forces. We need to gather our forces in, and we need to talk about these other energies that we haven't discussed in the past. Because why? Because we're in a modern, supposedly modern world that loves what? What does the modern world love? It loves materialism. Materialism. Now, this is ironic because materialism is saying that the most real thing, important thing, is the hard objects. Touch it, measure it. That's how you know something. That's Modernia says the only true knowledge is the measurement with our left brain. Yeah. Now, why is that ironic? What's the irony in that? The irony in that is that the material world is holy and it is the container for the non-physical world. Who cares? What's the deal? Why should you care? Well, the irony of materialism is that it disrespects material. The irony of our modern materialistic, no God, secular mentality is to say that the most important thing is the stuff, measure the stuff, and get to know the stuff, and yet we don't know the stuff. What are we doing? Well, you young people are starting to get the hang of it, because what I've discovered is that we have a greater affinity to our grandparents than we do to our parents. The generations separated sort of reverberate back upon each other, you see. And so I feel a responsibility to young people, because when I was young, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I was trying really hard to fit in and understand how to run my life. But boy, we were just thrown to the wolves. You know, we young women threw ourselves, our mothers threw us to the wolves. My mother sent me out when I was 13 on a date with a man who was 35, and he raped me. And I don't remember the details because I left my body. My mother did that. Our mothers do bad things to us when they themselves have been thrown to the wolves. And every subsequent generation that has been thrown to the wolves will then pass that down to their descendants, you see. So, what I want you to know is that my descendants are suffering and I want to help you. I want you to know how much I love you and how much, oh, I'm going to cry now because when I get sincere, I cry. I love you so much and I want to be with you so much. And I want to make it hurt less for you. Oh my God. They told me to be authentic. And so I've been doing the recordings and the Zoom and the trying to learn editing, and fuck that shit. Just fuck it. This is what I'm going to do for a while and see what happens, because honestly, I want to speak my truth. And I'm 74 years old and I have struggled and searched with every fiber of my being. And I just want you to hear what I've discovered. And go ahead and tell me back, because honestly, I don't know a thing. And I don't remember anything. ADD, that's the new craze. But you know what these psychological definitions are? They are just the left brain's way of describing something it doesn't understand. Because what the right brain does is engulf. I cannot tell you in words very easily, but what I need to do is express my feelings, because the right brain feels. She feels you. I feel you, which is why being on this screen is not exactly it. But guess what? The image does have a message. Marshall McLuhan said that the medium is the message. So you can see my angst, you can see my love. Hopefully, you can see that on this screen, you see. Hopefully, we can communicate our feelings through these images, and you can hear it in my voice. That's why I hate texting. There is no voice, there's no aroma. Texts are horrible. Texting is horrible. And that's why X is so bad. It's for data. Data's fine. It's great. But if you want to be with someone and understand them, you have to smell them and hear them and feel their aura. And you can, and you do. Okay, that's my deal for today. I want you to go to my Kickstarter and do something about it with, what have I got? I've got my new book, The Tao of Astrology. Okay. And I've also doing little readings to help you just get a handle, a small handle. And they're inexpensive. It's only $15. And what you do is you give me your data and I give you your astrology chart. And then I put two tarot cards. Oh, that's four, isn't it? I put two tarot cards with that. And one is about your sun sign and one is your moon sign. And that sort of gives you just a basis of how your elements operate. Because if you're airy, your mind is active. If you're earthy, you're very somatic. That means body oriented, you see. And if you're fire, if you're very fiery in your sun and moon, then you just want to run like a horse across the field. You want to just explore and find something. Is it truth you want to find? What is it that you want to find? You'll know, you'll tell me. If it's water, you just are responding to the edges that are squeezing you in, you see. Water is very well, it's hard to describe, isn't it? Because it's liquid, it's gas, it's ice. Water is the most creative and it's the most emotional of the elements. I always think of being an artist, and my teacher, I'm an artist, by the way. One of my teachers once told us that you have to do these exercises that we did where you, okay, only use two colors. Okay, only draw in this size of a box. Okay, only. And she would give us these rules, because what these rules do, you see, is they confine you, and water needs to be confined. Emotions shouldn't run like wild horses. Emotions need walls to flow through, you see. So if you have a lot of water, you need some structure to hold you. You need a cup. You need a hallway, you see. So anyway, the reading is helpful in understanding how your soul functions, you see. Okay, so once again, go to my Kickstarter and buy something, for God's sake. I've got a $500 goal and I'm at 280 right now. So I need a lot of people to come and do the $15 readings. I'm selling the new book, Color, it's all color, for $70. I know it's a lot, but fuck, money isn't worth shit anymore. So, it's all color. Um and I've got my fun thing I do too, because it's great. Some more color. There you go. So the idea is that we're not 12 signs, we're six continuums. So that's what the book's about. And of course it's Taoist and yin and yang-ish, which is what I like. It's just how my simple mind forms up. It's my walls. I use the yin and yang as my creative container, right? Okay, Kickstarter, and it's what is it? Yeah, it's I thought I wrote it down. Oh, here it is. Kickstarter, make 100 readings, the Tao of Astrology. That's where you go. And it's also down below in the link. All right, I'm going to end now. And thank you. And I'm just going to keep doing live stuff and we'll see what happens. All right, thanks. Love you. Bye.